Great. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your patience as I get going here. So I want to talk about Couchbase a little bit. We are a NoSQL database platform. We're actually an interesting one in that we are a combination or a merger of multiple open source projects that we were started in about 2011. We're headquartered in the Bay Area, Santa Clara specifically, and we've got a lot of brand name customers that I will both talk about. And as I walk through this, I'll discuss how each of these organizations are using Couchbase and why that's significant for them. So, of course, what we've noticed is during this particular year, especially, most of our customers have moved online in a variety of different ways. All of their activities happening online. So, what they're asking us as we reach out and talk to them is, what is it that you're expecting to have happen right now? And what they want to know from us is, where did their particular customers go? Online is the answer. Can we help them reduce their costs because the effect on their business is oftentimes driving the need to reduce IT spending and budgets, and then ultimately make sure that they stay in control of their environment and don't do anything to break things. Okay, so from the standpoint of what I'm really going to end up talking about is the way that Couchbase approaches delivering a database solution to the market. And here we support a wide variety of developer capabilities. In particular, we're a key value-based data store that uses JSON as our storage format. And there's some big benefits to doing both of those things. As I mentioned earlier, we're a hybrid kind of application or a database project that took the best of in-memory key value-based systems and merge that with the best of JSON-based document type systems. And then we've added a number of capabilities around it to improve and provide really robust query, indexing. We include full-text search in our environment, as well as the ability to perform real-time analytics on your operational data while it's actually in production. And you can see comparatively, we're highly competitive with any number of other products in the market. During recent tests, we've discovered that we stack up, really, really effectively to many of our competitors. So, but what I really want to talk about today are the use cases that Couchbase supports and how these use cases are delivered inside of our customer base. So typically, because of our speed of the in-memory solution, we find that customers like to use us as a user profiling storage mechanism because of JSON's flexibility, as well as a session caching store so that you can support higher numbers of end users. A typical customer in that use case is LinkedIn. They are using us at the rate of about 2 million sessions that they're covering in any given time period. Those personalization and profile management applications often evolve into customer 360 style applications. And then on the flip side of that, if you're a retailer or someone who's operating an online catalog of sorts, the cataloging system is another very, very applicable use of Couchbase. And finally, to do really clever things out in the field or support your digital transformation initiatives, we oftentimes support those. So here's the view of some of our core, highest profile customers. I'll talk about some of these more in a minute. LinkedIn is this caching store. Tesco's is using us as a product catalog and supporting more than 10 million unique SKUs at any given time. Amadeus, the flight booking and travel booking site, is supporting over 15 million operations per second using Couchbase. Comcast is serving media to our customers, and Glue is a partner of ours in the identity management space that has just benchmarked Couchbase as supporting over 1 billion full round-trip authentication sessions in a particular day, and that's at a rate of like 13,500 transactions per second. So what I want to talk about is this caching solution that LinkedIn was supporting. And really, when you build an application, you have your presentation layer, your business layer, data access layer. And of course, you want to cache your data in memory because it's faster than the operations of your disk. So you get better performance, better user experience, and reduce your costs if you're able to front end your application using something that will actually cache your activity prior to its reading and writing to a relational database or to a mainframe. So with Couchbase, you basically insert Couchbase in front of your relational database or your mainframe, and it caches the majority of user activity and then delivers that really killer user experience to your users. While if you happen to incur a cache miss where the data is not in the cache, it will actually go and fetch that from the core system. And what this really does is help offload the performance of the mainframe or of your RDBMS to make sure that you're able to serve your users in a higher volume and deliver a much better user experience. So our customers, across the board, a huge number of them in terms of their popularity in the market. Three of the top global travel companies, all three of the top credit reporting companies, three of the Fortune 500 healthcare organizations. We'll talk about those, all supporting different use cases of Couchbase. So in financial services, for example, when we look at supporting fraud detection, mobile wallets at PayPal, e-payment systems, market and customer 360 data, all of these are different use cases supported in the financial services arena. And in fact, our customer Revolut won the Financial Service Tech Award for the anti-fraud solution of the year based on Couchbase. So that's what this particular customer use case describes. Sherlock is the name of the application. As I mentioned, it's a fraud detection application and a customer 360 user profiling kind of foundation to it, where it's preventing fraudsters from trying to employ common attacking techniques and identity theft kinds of techniques. So Sherlock uses machine learning algorithms to update rules and catch 96% or more of these fraudulent style transactions. In telcos, Amdocs is a customer of ours, and they're also doing this user profiling and session caching storage for their customers. They need to offset the performance, the deterioration that they were seeing with their original system, and chose to deploy Couchbase on top of Red Hat's OpenShift environment to ease that development and deployment of new features to both shorten their delivery cycles and give their customers, again, a better user experience here. And much of the reasons why you're able to do this is because JSON itself is really flexible. It doesn't bind you to the requirements of fitting to a fixed schema that you would have to roll out over and over again as you change your application. JSON allows you to have the application manipulate the storage format and the schema itself in real time so that you can continuously update it with new, perhaps user profile attributes or new products to your catalog. So that's one of the reasons why Couchbase is so popular in these kinds of applications. And to access the JSON documents, we use a language called NQL, N1QL. And what's really important about NQL is that it looks and behaves exactly like SQL. We euphemistically refer to it as being SQL for JSON. So NQL's really powerful here. It uses exactly the same syntax that you're accustomed to. Select statements, where clauses, delete, deletes, and joins we support, which is for a document database, actually one of the unusual features of Couchbase. So when we look at Tesco's is a customer of ours in the UK who, of course, had the infamous Black Friday near meltdown of their systems years ago, and then after they changed it and rebuilt their product catalog using Couchbase, They were able to recover and enjoy a banner year in 2016, 2017, and subsequent because of their redesign of that catalog delivery system. And Hilfiger is another core customer of ours. What's really interesting about what they're doing is they're using iPads and tablets as their virtual showroom for their new merchandise that buyers are evaluating. So they can actually figure out and decide on new merchandise much more rapidly than they used to be able to before, so it allows them to bring new products to market in a much more rapid rate. So they've been doing this since 2018. Staples is another retail customer of ours who's supporting their online store, their daily deals application, and a mobile application using Couchbase. And of course, they're applying 1.6 billion rules in real time to a particular purchase to provide that great customer experience that their customers are expecting. And one of the reasons why they chose us was because of that that simple nature of that query language I just showed you, Nickel, and its ease of use to users and to developers alike. eBay, another user profile store, shopping cart application, and able to support 110 billion calls to Couchbase during a day. So the activity rate that these kind of organizations and the scale rate that these organizations are operating at is really, really incredible. And finally, PayPal, right, is a mobile wallet and real-time payment system that's also using Couchbase, and they're delivering their users with real-time reports and visualizations about their spending patterns within Couchbase. So the things I've talked about so far are this multi-model flexibility that you get with the JSON document store, the ease and familiarity of Nickel being the query language that developers are using. It's very, very fast in terms of the memory-first data handling of your queries and for your application. And then we've got additional capabilities like full-text search, like our analytics service, which I'll talk about in a second, or the eventing service, which creates a much more robust application type that our customers can deliver. So let's kind of keep going and talk about some more of the capabilities of Couchbase as we go along here. So one is an elastic scaling architecture, so you can design your application as a single entity, a monolith, and then deploy it across your cluster and performance tune it using a feature we call multidimensional scaling. So you can see you can scale these services independently on any kind of environment. So if you've got a small cluster like this 4-node cluster on the right-hand side, the QA setup, you can set up the application this way, or in deployment when you've got 13 nodes, you can set it up very, very independently and performance optimize each one of these services of your system. Another really, really clever capability of Couchbase. When we do deploy things, that multidimensional scaling capability, we support enterprise security. We have our cluster management capability is active, and share nothing. So it's highly elastic in terms of where you can put it, where you can scale it, and it even supports automatic sharding and rebalancing of its of data in its data store. So a very robust database management system. It supports ACID transactions, cross-data center replication for global deployments, etc. So back to some of these use cases, and I want to talk about mobile because kind of the time frame that we're living in right now. So these, if you need a mobile deployment, some of the core capabilities to bear in mind as I talk about some of these next use cases is this offline first mentality. Right. So and then some of the other capabilities that drive towards offline first kinds of support, like peer-to-peer syncing, when you only have a local network but no internet available to you, for example. So we'll talk a little bit about Couchbase mobile for mobile and edge computing. And here I'm going to talk about a couple of different capabilities. Couchbase Lite is that local database that lives on your tablet or your mobile phone. Sync gateway is the mechanism that is synchronizing data between your phone and the main Couchbase cluster, and of course the Couchbase server. So let's talk about where this is really useful, and I'll use in the context of some healthcare solutions. So remote and offline work. We have a customer, 80s, is in an African public health consulting organization, and they're delivering digital services to small and medium-sized sub-Saharan African hospitals. And what they're doing here is centralizing all the information on tablets and mobile devices, because, of course, internet connectivity is where the importance of the information is really high, but internet connectivity oftentimes is really low. If you can't rely on Wi-Fi or landlines, the automating and digitizing information like this is quite difficult without something like Couchbase Mobile. So offline and remote, we're able to deliver full copies of the database on each mobile device. It operates offline in full functionality, and then when it needs to synchronize back up to the core systems, it does that automatically. So much easier to manage from a data standpoint, really low learning curve for their users, and it's really, really fast and lightweight. Another use case is Maccabi's. And this is Maccabi, of course, is an Israeli healthcare organization, healthcare service, and what they needed to do was, support that same, overcome that inconsistency in network connectivity for their IoT devices, and enable data sharing amongst doctors, patients, and staff. So. Once again, deploying Couchbase Mobile in this regard was the solution to automating and supporting much better outcomes for their particular patients, because they're receiving better information about their healthcare treatment. Becton Dickinson is another customer of ours, and they have a diabetes app that is helping patients monitor their glucose levels and remind them when they need to take insulin shots, etc. So this is all based on the FHIR model of data exchange for the data itself, and ultimately, they're able to overcome massive volumes of data and deliver this particular application to over 50 countries and support 40,000 different medical associates all at the same time. And Hospital Corporation of America has digitized handwritten form processes with Couchbase, and they're doing this to gather survey data from patients who have been released, to make sure that they are tracking long-term outcomes of patients and patient satisfaction for their different constituencies, the hospitals that they support. And final things I want to talk about is, of course, we do support a cloud-based deployment. It's called Couchbase Cloud. This is a fully managed database as a service. And what's interesting about this is it deploys inside of the customer's virtual private cloud, allowing them to both manage, own, and secure their data, maintain that within their control. Yet we fully manage all of the Couchbase servers and clusters that you need to deploy to support these kind of applications. So it's expertly managed. It's got incredible performance versus competitive products. It's 4 or 5 times faster in supporting common workloads in Couchbase Cloud. It supports this in-VPC security capability across global deployments. It's available in AWS right now. It will be available in Azure by the end of the year, and then Google Cloud Platform shortly thereafter. And really, because of this performance capability and some of the transparency that we offer with our licensing policies, we're able to deliver really exceptional low TCO for cloud-based deployments here. So we offer a 30-day free trial, and different levels of support are what differentiate the pricing levels of Couchbase Cloud. And finally, as I wind down and get ready to take some questions, I do want to highlight that coming up in about 2 weeks is the Couchbase Developers Conference. It's called Couchbase Connect Online. You can register or even preview the agenda. There's over 100 sessions that we're offering here for Connect Online. It's at connect.couchbase.com. And registration, of course, and participation is free. And we encourage anyone who's interested in developing these kinds of applications that I've just walked through to take a look at Connect Online. For that concludes my prepared remarks here. So I think I can switch over and take some questions. So any question? So additional commentary here, talking about Couchbase. Etc. Right? Yes, details of, thank you, Stephen. I've got my colleague, Stephen Miller, helping advertise the conference itself. It's a 3-day virtual event, and was called with a theme of develop your path. And Connect Online itself will be quite the event for anyone interested in Couchbase itself. My pleasure. So Couchbase does have a virtual booth here at the conference, and so you can get in touch with us there. And my email address is jeff.morris@couchbase.com. You can contact me directly, or just go to couchbase.com for more information on what we're doing here. Thank you, everybody, for your patience in getting me started, and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Cheers.